But you're wrong if you think that the joy of life comes principally from human relationships. God's placed it all around us. It's in everything, in anything we can experience.
There is a strange kind of peace that finds you on a quiet Christmas night. No plans, no plus one, just you, the glow of the screen, and the kind of silence that does not feel empty, it feels chosen. Tonight, we are not watching movies about finding someone. We are watching films about finding yourself. Christmas cinema has a habit of lying to us. It tells us that the holidays are incomplete without a love interest, without a kiss under mistletoe, without someone waiting for you at the airport in the final scene. But here is the truth no one puts on a poster. Some of the most meaningful seasons of your life will be spent alone. And that is not a tragedy. That is a chapter. Being single during Christmas does not mean something is missing. Sometimes it means you are finally present with yourself, aware of who you are without someone else defining it for you. This video is for those quiet nights. The ones where you are wrapped in a blanket. The world outside is cold, but inside you feel something close to whole. These are 8 films that understand that. Films that do not pity your solitude. Films that respect it. No love stories that fix broken people. No third-act confessions. Just characters learning what you might be learning right now, that being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. Let us begin. Film number 1, The Apartment. We start in 1960. Billy Wilder's The Apartment is technically a romance, but beneath its witty dialogue and Oscar-winning charm, it is a film about self-respect. Jack Lemmon plays C.C. Baxter, a pushover, a people-pleaser, a man who lends out his apartment to executives for their affairs just to climb the corporate ladder. He smiles when he should not. He agrees when he should refuse. He shrinks himself to fit into spaces that were never meant for him. And then Christmas arrives. There is a scene in this film, and I will not spoil it, where Baxter finally stops performing. He stops trying to be liked. He makes a choice that costs him everything he thought he wanted, and in doing so, he finds something he did not know he needed: his dignity. The Apartment is not about finding love, it is about becoming someone worthy of it. It is about realizing that the version of you that bends and breaks for approval is not the version anyone should fall for, including yourself. Watch this on a night when you need to remember that some doors are worth closing.
I'll never forget you, Hans.
Film number 2, Lost in Translation. Sofia Coppola made a film about 2 strangers who meet in Tokyo. They never kiss, they never commit, and yet what they share feels more intimate than most love stories ever achieve. Bill Murray plays Bob, a fading actor filming a whiskey commercial, sleepless, adrift in a marriage that has become routine. Scarlett Johansson plays Charlotte, newly married, yet somehow already wondering if she made the right choice. They meet, they talk, they wander through a city that does not speak their language, and in that shared foreignness they find something familiar: each other. Lost in Translation does not give you answers, it gives you permission. Permission to feel disconnected, permission to not have it all figured out, permission to find meaning in moments that lead nowhere. There is a final scene. Bob whispers something to Charlotte. We never hear it. And somehow, that silence says more than words ever could. This film is not about romance, it is about resonance. About finding someone who sees you even briefly and that being enough. Watch this when you want to feel less alone without meeting someone to fix it. Film number 3, Thur. Spike Jonze made a film about a man who falls in love with an operating system. On paper that sounds absurd, on screen it is devastating. Joaquin Phoenix plays Theodore, gentle, lonely, recently divorced. He writes heartfelt letters for strangers as a job, pouring emotion into words meant for other people while struggling to express his own. Then he meets Samantha, an artificial intelligence voiced by Scarlett Johansson. She is curious, evolving, endlessly present, and Theodore begins to feel something real. But here is what makes her essential for this list. It is not really about the relationship. It is about what Theodore learns when the relationship can no longer exist the way he wants it to. The film asks difficult questions. Can you love someone and still let them go? Can you grow from something that was never meant to last? Can you find peace in the absence of permanence? The answer, gently, is yes. Her is a film about learning to sit with your own heart, to stop outsourcing your emotional life to someone else, to realize that the capacity to love, even when it ends, is not a flaw. It is proof you are alive. Watch this when you need to forgive yourself for still feeling. Film number 4, Amélie. Jean-Pierre Jeunet created a world in Amélie that feels like a snow globe, delicate, colorful, and possibly charming. Audrey Tautou plays Amélie Poulain, a shy, imaginative woman living a quiet life in Montmartre. She works in a cafe, she skips stones on the canal, she notices small beautiful things that others overlook, and she spends most of the film alone. But here is the twist. Amélie does not treat her solitude as a problem to solve. She fills it with mischief, with tiny acts of kindness, with anonymous gestures that change people's lives without them ever knowing who was behind it. She orchestrates joy for strangers. She reunites lost treasures with their owners. She plays the unseen hand of fate, not because she is lonely, but because she finds purpose in it. Yes, there is a love story, but the heart of the film is not the romance. It is the reminder that your inner world, the quirky, strange, private universe inside you, is not something to explore. Amélie teaches you that solitude can be creative, that being alone does not mean being passive, that the richest lives are often lived quietly, intentionally, with wonder. Watch this when you need permission to be a little weird and a lot hopeful. Film number 5, Frances Ha. Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig made a film that feels like being 27 and having no idea what you are doing. Frances is a dancer, sort of. She is good but not great. She has dreams but not a clear path. She has a best friend who is drifting away, an apartment she cannot afford, and a life that keeps almost working but never quite landing. She is messy, she is awkward, she says the wrong thing at dinner parties. She laughs too loud and cares too much and keeps trying even when the universe keeps saying no. And none of that is treated as failure. Frances Ha is a film about the unglamorous middle. The part of your 20s or 30s or any age where you are not yet who you want to be but you are no longer who you were. The in-between. The almost. The not quite. There is a scene near the end. Frances finds a small apartment. She writes her name on the mailbox. The handwriting is messy, it barely fits, and she smiles. That is it. That is the victory. Not fame, not partnership, just the name on a door that is yours. Watch this when you need a reminder that figuring it out is not the goal. Showing up is. Film number 6, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Ben Stiller directed and starred in a film that was marketed as a comedy but quietly became something more, a meditation on unlived lives. Walter Mitty is a negative assets manager at Life magazine. He processes photos of adventures he has never taken. He daydreams constantly, vivid fantasies of heroism, romance, action, because his real life feels too small to contain who he wishes he could be. Then the magazine shuts down. A crucial photograph goes missing, and Walter, for the first time, has to leave the daydream and enter the real world. What follows is not a hero's journey in the traditional sense. Walter does not become someone else. He simply becomes more himself. He skateboards through Iceland. He climbs mountains. He chases a photographer across the globe, not to save the day, but to stop waiting for his life to begin. The film's final message is stitched into its soul. Beautiful things do not ask for attention. They exist quietly. And sometimes so do we. Watch this when you are ready to stop imagining and start living. Film number 7, The Holiday. We'll start with one that wears Christmas on its sleeve. The Holiday follows two women, a Hollywood trailer editor and a London journalist, who swap homes over Christmas to escape their own lives. Each lands in the other's world, colliding with new people, new rhythms, and the uncomfortable possibility that they might not be stuck forever. On the surface, it's a romantic comedy, but if you're watching it single, a different story emerges. Beneath the cozy cottages and warm lighting, The Holiday is about leaving situations that shrink you, about realizing that the version of yourself you've been performing for someone else, or for a city, doesn't have to be permanent. Watching it alone, you're not asked to envy the couples on screen. You're invited to notice the moment each character stops waiting to be chosen and starts choosing themselves. It's a Christmas film that quietly reminds you, changing your life doesn't always begin with another person. Sometimes it begins with booking a ticket. Film number 8, About Time, and probably my favorite one in the list. Richard Curtis made a film disguised as a romantic comedy. But beneath the time travel and the charm and the perfectly timed British humor is a film about something much quieter. It is about fathers and sons, about ordinary days, about learning to love your life, not the grand moments, but the forgettable ones. Domhnall Gleeson plays Tim, a young man who discovers he can travel back in time. At first he uses it for romance, to fix awkward moments, to say the right thing, to win the girl. But as the film progresses, something shifts. There's a scene near the end, and I will not spoil how we get there, where Tim stops using time travel altogether. He simply lives, one day at a time, noticing things he missed before, finding joy in the unremarkable. That is the lesson. You do not need to go back. You do not need to fix every mistake. You just need to pay attention to the life you already have. About Time is a film that understands what Christmas is really about. Not perfection, but presence. Not getting everything right, but appreciating what is already here. Watch this when you are ready to stop wishing things were different and start seeing what they already are. So here you are, single, Christmas approaching. The world telling you something is missing, but maybe nothing is. Maybe this is the year you stop waiting for someone to complete your story and start writing it yourself. Maybe this is the season you find out who you are without a relationship defining you. Maybe, just maybe, this quiet chapter is exactly where you need to be. These 8 films will not fix anything. They will not magically make loneliness disappear, but they will sit with you. They will understand. And sometimes, that is all we really need. Not a happy ending, just a good story to keep us company. This has been What to Watch When. If this list found you at the right time, subscribe. We make videos for moments just like this one. Until next time, watch well.